Hi, my name is Rami. I really just want to say thanks you guys for coming down and talking to us. I think it's really cool that you took some time to come out and support your movie for all of us. So, my question is for the voice actors for Ben, Katie, and Brian. I was really surprised to see your names attached to the movie, to be honest. I was like, whoa, they're doing voices for a cartoon? But it was amazing to see your voices translate into the characters for such a familiar story. So I want to ask what interested you the most about the story of Year One and the universe of Batman in general? Thanks.
I think the first thing is that I don't look at it like a cartoon, because that sort of connotes a lesser appeal to it. I look at it as animation, story animation. Honestly, it was the writing. I would not be sitting here now if I didn't respond to the writing. It was really good, and I think it translated beautifully up onto the screen. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Year One. I'm not an aficionado, but I've always loved Year One and all of Frank Miller's stuff. And I think sort of echoing what Brian was saying, it's real and it's gritty and it's sort of honest, and it has you understand why the characters are doing what they're doing. So as an actor, it's very, very rich material. The stakes couldn't be higher. It's life and death at all times, and it's a real thrill to be able to get in the booth and go to those places where you often actually don't get to go, even when you're performing, live action stuff. So that's why I responded to it. Katie.
I'm similar. I mean, I grew up stealing my brother's Batman comic books. So I think when this was brought to my attention, I just kind of jumped at it. When I read the script, I loved how flawed the characters were, like how sincere and real they were, but how flawed they were. And to me, that was something that was new in my view of animation. So I was excited. Did I call it the right thing? I feel like I'm going to get tweet haters if I call it animation. It is right. That's the right word. Okay, I'm just making sure. I don't know, like animation, action, live action, something. I get confused all the time.
This is live action.
Very animated. But you're animated.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm a huge fan of everything that you guys do, so thank you so much for bringing that to us for Comic-Con. My question was that we never really see Batman at this stage, his first year, and he has so much emotional turmoil that he's going through, and you guys really showed a lot of his imperfections, but was there any difficulties that you had to go through while writing this or trying to portray it?
You know, the beauty of doing films that are based on really, really solid source material is it's all kind of there. Which is not to downgrade what we did with the movies. I'm really proud of what we all did with it, but it's all there in the source material. When you work with really, really, really solid source material, it's all of the problems are kind of worked out for you. All the story arcs are figured out. All of the, we were literally like grabbing whole chunks of the dialogue verbatim and putting it in the movie. And I know Lauren and Sam were, literally just Xeroxing panels from the comic when appropriate and just slapping them down on a page and saying, here, that's the panel. So it's, it's hard to kind of take credit for any part of the story, because that's right there in Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli's work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, there was one change I noticed from the original story that I read.
We're not going to just turn around behind you. Okay, blue. Behind you then.
I thought it was this shirt, which is a little inappropriate, but
Why the blue face?
I thought it was interesting that it was actually different than this original comic, the fight between Bruce and Selena, and she actually had to kick a little more ass rather than getting knocked out with one punch. So I wonder, was there a conscious decision to make her a little more cool in this version? And
I'm sorry, you've just been upstaged, and it's not your fault. But that's all right. You guys should answer that one.
One of the things about year one was that we felt a little bit like it's a story that a lot of people know. You know, it's been around for a long time, and so we felt like even though we remember it, there's certain things that we remember maybe in a different way. You know, so I felt like all the sort of, especially in the fight thing, we had to make it a little bit better. You know, because like in the comic, it's just like he just does like a punch and it's done. We didn't feel like fans would be satisfied with that, and so we had to sort of almost amplify certain moments.
I mean, my memory of the comic was that they did fight. I honestly, when we went back and looked at it, it's like, oh yeah, he takes her out with one punch, and it's like, but my imagination kind of filled in the blanks. I mean, I will say, now that we've let the cat out of the bag about The Dark Knight Returns, there's a lot of the things that as we're going through that, it's the same kind of thing. As we're going through it, we're like, well, that's not the way it was in the comic, and then you go, oh yeah, that is the way it was in the comic, huh? So we really have to do something a little bit different there. It is, like you said, your memory kind of like fills in the blanks. So here, it seems entirely appropriate to play that scene out. And the same thing with Gordon and the guy on the bridge at the end too, with Junior. So, or not Junior, the nephew. So,
Because they would just be really too short. You know, just cinematically, it wouldn't be fulfilling.
It's been a year since last Comic-Con. You get this question, and don't worry, it's not one of those stupid how do I get into voice acting questions. No, personally, I need a second acting class this year at Grossmont. How did you enjoy working with this cast compared to the cast of Batman the Animated Series?
Batman the Animated Series was so much better. These guys, you could pay me to work with them.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's apples and oranges.
There's every single time. Somebody at Comic-Con 3-4 years ago told me that I've cast Batman 9 or 10 times. I had absolutely no idea of how many times I've had to actually do that work. But the truth is, every single experience is remarkable in its own life.
You okay, Brian?
We've lost Brian. Man stood on the stage accepting Emmys and can't hold himself together. Enough of the filming. Next question. Thank you. We got to get to the guy in blue.
We got to get to the guy.
What can we do for you?
So much pressure.
Bruce, I don't know if you remember me from the Green Lantern.
I remember you.
So, how did you pick him apart from all the other blue people?
He's the tall one.
So I really love Showcase because it gave an opportunity for characters we wouldn't normally see to carry a story. So my question is, do you plan on making any non-Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, or Justice League films? And is Kingdom Come still the impossible story to have?
So the first question is, are we going to make anything besides Superman, Batman, or Justice League movies?
Or Green Lantern?
Okay, the list is expanding. We would love to. Honestly, we would love to. So what? Flash? There we go. Shout out your favorite character, everybody, at all times. last one? What? So anyhow, what was the other question?
Is Kingdom Come still the impossible storyline to animate?
It's just not made for 2D animation. It's just not. I don't think we. I don't think it's not a good fit. No. So Impossible Dream, yes. I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
I guess this is a follow-up question to that one. Is there any way that Batgirl Year One could be reconsidered now that
this one's been made? Yeah, I suppose we could sneak it in there. It'll be like a sequel to Year One. It's got the same Year One in the title, maybe. Just maybe pretend that it doesn't have the word girl in it, maybe. I'd love to do it. Honestly, I know Lauren's been like saying it for years. She wants to do that, but you know, we'll see. We'll see.
I like your polka dots.
First of all, you guys did a great job. Every one of your films has been great.
Thanks.
I'm very curious about Dark Knight Returns. That's such a very grim and gritty story. How is that going to translate? It's almost kind of an R-rated story.
It's really not. Your memory is playing you false. It's really not. It's going to be very, very faithful to the comic, and I will be very much surprised if we get an R rating.
Okay. Would you consider using Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill for the role of Batman?
Consider using Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.